Hello, this is Dr. Daulton from Chiropractic, and I wanted to make a slightly different video for you today because, normally I'm talking about chiropractic and how we help people experience a higher level of nervous system function, therefore their health is at a higher level, and they experience more out of their lives because of it. Chiropractic's an amazing thing. However, I wanted to talk about something that's a little bit more personal for me today because it's just been going through my mind and I thought it would be helpful to put this out there just in case it could help any of you watching this video. But the way that this topic came to my mind was that I was talking to a patient the other day about my fitness routine. And as you probably know from watching my videos, or if you know me personally, I like to work out. I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day in order to make that happen because I have a very busy schedule, and I like to do it first thing and then come into the office and do my work, and it works out for me. But what the patient said to me was, "Man, that sounds really hard." And the thought going through my head at the time was, yes, it is hard. It's not easy. If that were easy, every single person would do it. But you know what else is hard? What else is hard is that just 7 years ago, I actually weighed 80 pounds more than what I weigh right now. And I realize you're watching this video and you're looking at me and you're thinking, you don't look that great, right? I'm certainly no fitness model. I'm not any model of any kind by any means. But I used to be a lot heavier. And at the time, what I remember about it was that I would wake up in the morning and I would look at myself in the mirror, and I just remember feeling complete disgust for myself because I didn't like what I saw in the mirror and what my body looked like. And you may say that's a little extreme or rude to say that about myself, but the truth is if you've been through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no sugarcoating this topic, all right? That's the way that I felt about it. My health at the time was on a fast decline. My cholesterol was through the roof. My blood pressure was high. I was having problems with my liver and kidneys because of all the fat that I was putting into my body. I was exhausted all the time. I actually eventually ended up being diagnosed with sleep apnea, but I couldn't breathe at night because I was so heavy. It was a terrible, terrible time in my life. And you can sit there and judge me saying, well, you're a doctor, shouldn't you know better? But you have to understand that a person who struggles with their weight, that didn't just start as an adult. It doesn't matter what you know or what you think you know in your head. Those are things that develop from the time that we're children. It has to do with our habits and our lifestyles and the ways that we're raised, what we eat when we're growing up, whether we exercise or not. I was in a home where, there was very high value placed on education, and I'm thankful for that. I became a doctor because of that. But at the same time, we weren't a sports family, so I never exercised. I never played any sports. We weren't very focused on healthy eating at the time, and so that's what I was raised to do. And as an adult, I continued those habits into my adulthood, and that's what actually ended up happening to me. So what I'm trying to say to you here is this. It was hard for me to lose 80 pounds. That was not easy. And I'm going to tell you something. If you think that there's a shortcut in life to achieve whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve, whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to become more fit, whether you're trying to earn more money, I don't care what your goal is. There is no easy solution, so you need to stop looking for it. It was hard for me to lose that weight. It's hard for me to get to my final goal because I don't feel like I'm there yet. I still have more weight that I want to lose, and I want to achieve a better fitness level. But it's going to be hard to do that, but it's also going to be hard to stay in your current situation. But here's the good news. Here's the excitement, and this is what I want to share with you on this video. Every day you get up and you get to choose your hard. All right? So number one, let's stop accepting that life is easy or thinking that life is easy because it is not. There's challenges all the time, and you're not the only person who's challenged. Everybody has their challenges. You don't know what one or two people are experiencing in their lives at any point in time. That's why I think it's important to be nice to everybody because you don't know what they're going through. Everybody has struggles, and everybody has a hard time, and we all have our own personal challenges. So the truth is, when you're trying to accomplish something different, no matter what that goal is, accept the fact that it's going to be hard if you want to get to that point. When you see somebody who's achieved whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, I guarantee you that if you talk to that person, they're going to tell you exactly what I'm telling you right now, that it was not easy for them to accomplish their goal. Going back to my example of losing weight, I see these people at the gym who are in perfect shape, who look like they belong on the cover of Men's Health magazine or something. And whenever you have a conversation with them, I'm telling you, it was years and years and years of them putting in hard work to accomplish that goal and to look the way that they do. I watch all these fitness documentaries on Netflix. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of weird like that because I like all that kind of thing. But I was watching a show about these people who compete in the CrossFit Games, which is kind of like the Olympics of CrossFit if you're not familiar with it. But what these people have to do in order to prepare for that is insane. We're talking about all-day workouts. We're talking about very strict diets. They have to sacrifice a lot in order to accomplish that goal. So no matter what it is that you're trying to do, you have to first of all accept that it's not going to be easy, no matter what the situation is. But it also isn't easy for you to stay where you are, all right? That doesn't feel good either, and that's why you want something different. So that's the first thing I want to say to you. The second thing is, what is the difference between someone who accomplishes their goal and someone who doesn't? And I'm going to tell you, here's a few things that I've learned that I feel are important. Number one, you have to have a big enough reason why, all right? Here's the thing. You're going to be uncomfortable when you're trying to accomplish something that you don't have right now. It was uncomfortable for me to start exercising. It was uncomfortable for me to give up cake, because I love cake. All right? It was uncomfortable for me to change my diet. But here's the thing. You have to want your goal so much more than you are comfortable where you are now. All right? I hope that makes sense to you. But here's the thing. You have to have a big enough reason. If you don't have a big enough reason to accomplish something, you're never, ever going to get there. And by the way, I don't care what your reason is. For me back then, when I was trying to lose weight, all I was concerned about was the way that I looked. It was strict vanity. And if you're honest with yourself, and you're going through the same struggle, you're thinking the same thing, all right? I'm not unique in this. I know I'm not unique in this. That's why people do a lot of things. But that's okay, because I wanted that so bad, and I wanted it so much more than I wanted the piece of cake, all right? Does that make sense to you? So be ready to be uncomfortable, but you need to want it so much more than what you have right now in order to start accomplishing that goal. The other thing that you have to understand is that when you see someone who's accomplished what you're trying to achieve, do not compare yourself to that person. Use them as motivation, but understand that that person may have started their journey sooner than you did, but they're on the journey, I guarantee you. They have had all the struggles that you're going to have to go through. They've gone through all the work. It's easy to look at someone who's achieved something that you want and to think that they've got it made. And I'm telling you, if you know that person and if you talk to that person, they will tell you that it was not easy for them to accomplish it. So it's not fair for you to compare yourself to that person who's already gotten to that level in their life, because you're not on the same page. Your journey may be starting today, but you know what's important? That you start the journey. That's all that really matters. The other thing you have to do is you have to start making small steps towards your goal. When I started exercising, I didn't just jump into the gym and start doing all the things that I do today. I didn't just go into CrossFit. What I started with was realizing that I had never worked out at that point in my life, and so I had to start with something that I thought would be fun. And at the time, I remember thinking that Zumba looked like fun. I don't know if you know what Zumba is, but basically it's Latin dancing and you use it for exercise. Of course, I was too embarrassed to do it in a class, so I just bought the videos and did it at home. I did not want anybody seeing that. But I decided to start with Zumba because it looked like it would be something that would keep my attention that I would continue doing. Well, I remember when I first started with that, I could only make it 10 minutes before I was completely out of breath, hurting. I just couldn't do any more than that. But as I kept trying, and this is the key, you cannot stop, you got to keep going with it. Eventually I could do 15 minutes, and then I could do 20, and then I made it through a half an hour. And then I could eventually do an hour-long class until eventually that became easy. Now, it took months of doing that right because you got to build up that fitness level. But when I got to that point, I decided that I was going to try Insanity because that was the big thing at the time. And if you're not familiar with that, that's one of the Beachbody programs. And back then it was known as being really, really difficult or challenging. And it was, let me tell you, it was hard. But I made it through. Same thing. You start off where you are and you just keep building yourself up. Then I went to Body Beast. And then eventually I started doing CrossFit. And now I just go to the gym because I like that fits for me. It works well for me. All right. I see the biggest change with what I'm doing now. And so you have to understand that you have to start wherever you are. Don't expect yourself to jump in and just do what the person who's accomplished what you're trying to accomplish has done, because it doesn't work that way. You have to start somewhere. So start with what you can handle and build yourself up. The next thing is you got to stop beating yourself up. You're going to fail. All right? It's just the truth about life. No matter what it is that you're trying to do, there's going to be roadblocks. There's going to be things that try to get in your way. And you have to accept that those things are going to come your way, and sometimes you're going to have setbacks. But that's okay, because that's what makes the goal so worth achieving. When you finally get to that point, it's going to be so sweet to you. You're going to feel so good about it because it wasn't easy along the way. Now you can appreciate accomplishing that goal. So accept the fact that it's okay for you to fail. It's okay for you to have setbacks and challenges and for things to happen to you along the way. What matters is, did you keep going? Did you choose to keep working towards that goal, or did you give up? Don't ever stop completely. Just know that if you have a moment, get right back up and start going again. All right? I'm telling you, you just got to make it happen, and that's the bottom line. So once again, like I said, whether you're trying to accomplish a weight loss goal or a fitness goal or a health goal or a money goal, it doesn't matter. No matter what you do, it's going to be hard, so choose your hard, all right? Thank you so much for watching this. I hope that story helped you. I understand it was a little bit personal, which may have made you uncomfortable, but that's okay. All right? And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching again.